morning, and welcome to the virtual Greater Boston Church of Spiritualism on this Sunday morning or whenever you're choosing to watch. Please join me in our opening prayer. Infinite Spirit, beloved God, we ask your blessing as we gather here today in community and in harmony. Help us to open our hearts and minds to your presence, to your light, and to your love, and remind us who we truly are as a part of you, as a part of each other. We ask that you bring to us our loved ones today. Bring them close so that we may know that love and life continues into eternity and that we are never separate from you, from our loved ones, or from each other. We give thanks for this knowledge as we say, Amen. And today's inspirational thought is a poem that was written by Elisa Ozanoy, one of our wonderful mediums and members. God only sees our love. God doesn't see our colors and only sees our love. We are all sisters and brothers supported from above. Despite classifications imposed by those in power, we are all God's creations who love, who heal, and empower. As people come together and listen to another, connections are created that come from higher power. That power is all-loving and ever-present love that doesn't see our colors and loves us as we are. When we are known by our actions, not the color of our skin, there will be a new era in justice and healing will begin. That day will come when people will mean more to us than nations, when cultures are respected, yet we are equally God's creations. As sisters and as brothers, embraced by peace and love, not judged by one another, we are all guided from above. So let us love each other and treat each one with respect and watch our world evolve as we all, in oneness, connect. Thank you, Elisa, for that lovely poem. And now, if you would join me in our healing prayer, which will appear on the screen. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. And now it's time for our healing meditation, a time when we can let go of the busyness, the stress, the worries, and the fears that arise in our life and just settle in to the love and the peace of God that is all around us and deep within us. So I ask you to just get comfortable in your chairs or remove anything you might be holding and just allow yourself to thoroughly relax. And give yourself this moment as you close your eyes and breathe deeply. Allow yourself the gift of healing, bringing yourself into the present moment, allowing yourself to simply breathe and allow that breath to flow through your body, awakening that healing light deep within every cell. Breathing in and breathing out, relaxing with each breath more and more. And as you breathe in, imagine that beautiful God light flowing in with your breath and awakening the light within every cell within your body. Feel that healing power flowing through every cell, moving through every muscle, every joint, every bone, every organ and system. And just allow your body to relax into this healing light as you breathe. Breathing in more and more light and breathing out the stress and the strain that life has brought. Releasing you from dis-ease and disharmony. Just allow yourself to be at peace in this sacred moment of now. And imagine that light gently flowing from the top of your head all the way down to the tip of your toes, bringing ease and peace into every part of that wonderful body. Just allow your body to take it in and release what no longer serves. And as your body relaxes with every breath, you can feel that light gently permeating your mind, moving through every thought, transforming any negative thought into a positive one. And just feel that light of love flowing through your mind like a peaceful river, carrying away all that no longer serves you, and filling your mind with love, with thoughts of love, and with the knowing that you are loved beyond measure. As this divine light floods your mind, you know you are a part of the divine. You are a part of God, a part of all that is, an important part of creation, and that you are loved exactly as you are. Allow your mind to expand with this knowledge as you begin to truly feel that love and know that you are loved, that you are lovable, that there is nothing you need to do to deserve this love. It is yours. Allow your mind to expand in this love so that you are open to the inspiration and the guidance that is all around you. And as your mind opens and you realize you are one with all that is, you know that you have all that you need within you to do your part to create a beautiful world. As this light relaxes your body and opens your mind, you can feel it also flowing through your energy body and your emotional body, clearing away anything that no longer serves you, washing away the fears and the difficulties, the worries, anything that has blocked you from loving, from being that magnificent self, a being of love. And just allow that divine love to encompass you, to fill you body, mind, and soul, to open your heart to loving you. For you are deserving of your love as well, just as everyone else. Just breathe and feel yourself surrounded in God's love. And imagine yourself being transported into a forest of light. And as you stand in this forest, you can feel the leaves beneath your feet. You can look up at the leaves on the trees and see them all changing color. For we are in a magnificent forest of seasons. And just imagine yourself walking through that forest and watching those leaves gently change and fall as you're reminded that we are always changing. And it is always time to release something, anything that doesn't serve us. So we move through this fall season in this beautiful forest, and we let go of everything that blocks us from being our divine selves, and begin to move into that winter forest as we feel the gentle snowflakes falling all around us, touching each one of us like a kiss from heaven. And we feel those wonderful snowflakes just gently falling and helping to clear away anything that no longer serves us, washing us clean, helping us to let go. For all the seasons work with us to help us release what no longer serves. And so we take in these wonderful snowflakes and allow them to cleanse us and to open us to the light that is present in that winter. And we feel that light deep inside as we move beyond the winter into the spring. And we see the new sprouts of green coming up, the new leaves coming out on all of those trees that surround us. We feel new life and new growth. We feel a joy of living. And as we walk through this spring forest, we realize that every day is a new beginning. There is new life within every moment of every day. And we begin to give birth to the seeds within us that are ready to grow, that are ready to be born into this life. All the wonderful aspects of our being, all existing within us. And it is our choice to bring them forward and to use them. Then we move into that wonderful forest of summer. We feel the quiet, the serenity. We feel the warm air around us. And as we move through this forest, we feel a deep peace. And we look and see a beautiful waterfall, a golden waterfall that is light rather than water. And we're drawn to that beautiful waterfall of light. And we step into that golden light and allow it to enfold us as it flows deep inside, not only around us, but through us. And we allow that golden light to bring to us what we need to shine, what we need to share to the world. And we feel that golden light emanating from us. For this is that healing power of God, that essence of pure love that fills every particle of our being. And we realize as we step out of that waterfall that that light continues to radiate from us, continues to flow out from us into the world. And as we begin to move, we feel ourselves being lifted, carried high above the physical plane. And we look down upon our world radiating this golden light, this healing power into our world. And we see not only our world, but every being on the planet filled with that light, each one radiating that healing power, each one doing their part to create a beautiful world. So as we sit looking down upon our world, held in the wings of angels, radiating this beautiful golden light, we see that our entire world is filled with light. And we hold that vision of our world healed, so that each and every day we may do our part to create this vision and bring it into a true reality. For it begins in our dreams, it begins in our visualizations. It begins here and now as we see our world and every being in it radiating God's light in all they do. And as we choose to use that light within us to be that expression of God, we create a beautiful world. Take a nice deep breath and hold this vision in your heart and in your mind, and know that that radiant light lives inside of you, and that wherever you are, you can bring that light into every experience and into every interaction. And doing so, you do your part to create a beautiful world, for you are part of it all. Take another nice deep breath, bringing that light back with you, feeling that chair beneath you, coming back gently and easily to the room, and holding that light and that vision so that we may all do our part to create a peaceful and beautiful world. And as you open your eyes, smile and see that vision being created in your life. And if we're all back now, I'd like you to join me in reciting our Declaration of Principles. For in spiritualism, we have no rules or regulations, no dogmas or creeds, But we do have a set of principles that help us to live our lives in the best possible way. So please read them with me as they appear on the screen. We believe in infinite spirit and that God is infinite spirit. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite spirit. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of an individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that they make their own happiness or unhappiness as they obey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter, and we affirm the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Since this week we celebrated President's Day and we have been honoring Black history all month, I would like to share with you some inspiring quotes from our first Black president, Barack Obama. Did you know his name means one who is blessed? I think he is. President Obama, in his inaugural address in 2009, said, "It has been the risk takers, the doers, the makers of things, some celebrated, but more often men and women obscure in their labor, who have carried us up the long, rugged path towards prosperity and freedom." This is so true. It's not the big things that people change the world. It is the small things that we do for each other and for our community that changes the greater world. The hard work and the risks are taken by those who just keep going, day after day, doing their part for the greater whole, following their passions, their dreams, their hearts, and their souls. People like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs risked everything to follow their goals and dreams, and they knew that failure was just simply part of the journey towards success. The risk takers, the doers, the makers of things show us what courage and stamina really is. The delivery people, the grocery store workers, the public servants like the police and firemen and paramedics, the hospital workers, the teachers, all these people who are at work every day keeping this country going throughout this pandemic at great risk to themselves carry us all. These are the doers, obscure in their labor, not needing or wanting to be famous. We don't know their names, but we know they are there, and when we do get to interact with them, let us do so with gratitude, generosity, and respect. It is the hard work and ingenuity of the people of the past and the present who bring to us the inventions and the medicines that help us in our everyday lives today. It is the researchers who work tirelessly for cures of disease, not just this virus, but all diseases. They give their time and effort and passion to help all of us. We can all be doers. We can all share our passions and our gifts with the world. We can all find what we have within us and share it. One of our members sent me a list of hundreds of inventions by Black people in this country. It was a list presented by the Black Inventors Museum. The list mentions things like the rotary engine, lawn sprinkler, the ironing board, the typewriter, medicines, pacemaker controls, traffic lights, and even refrigerators. These people were doers. the makers of things that carried us into prosperity and made our lives just a bit easier today. Ask yourself, is there something you can do that will help the world around you? Ask yourself, what is it that I need? And then fill that need for someone else, and you will be a doer. Sharing who you are is risky. It takes courage to step out and share the gifts you have within you. But we all have a part to play in this world, and this world is not complete unless we all play our part. Obama also said, hope is that thing inside us that insists, despite all evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it and to work for it and to fight for it. He also said the best way to not feel hopeless is to get up and do something. Don't wait for good things to happen to you. If you go out and make some good things happen, you will fill the world with hope. You will fill yourself with hope. Some days we can all fall into hopelessness, but good things never come from that place. When we find the courage to choose hope over hopelessness, it is the first step in changing our lives and the lives of those around us. We all need hope. It is hope that carries us through these difficult times. I'm reminded of a beautiful poem called The Four Candles. The four candles burned slowly. Their ambiance was so soft you could hear them speak. The first candle said, I am peace, but these days nobody wants to keep me lit. Then peace's flame slowly diminished and went out. The second candle said, I am faith, but these days I am no longer indispensable. Then faith's flame slowly diminished and gone out completely. Sadly, the third candle speaks. I am love, and I haven't the strength to stay lit any longer. People put me aside and don't understand my importance. They even forget to love those who are nearest to them. Waiting no longer, love's candle went out completely. Suddenly, a child enters the room and sees the three candles no longer burning. The child begins to cry. Why are you not burning? You're supposed to stay lit until the end. Then the fourth candle speaks gently to the child. Don't be afraid, for I am hope. And while I still burn, we can relight the other candles. With shining eyes, the child took the candle of hope and lit the other three. Never let the flame of hope go out in your life. With hope, no matter how bad things look, peace, faith, and love can shine brightly in all of our lives. We have been in this pandemic for a year now, but hope is here in our hearts. It is deep inside and connected to the divine light that never goes out. We must hold on to it so that we rise above and dream a brighter, happier future. If we can see it, we can be it. Be happy now. Find the happiness deep inside and begin to dream from that place of happiness. I have found on my darkest days, I can't imagine life beyond this pandemic. I can't see it, so I can't be it. But when I choose to go within, to find the light deep inside, hope burns brightly. And it is from this place I can see a brighter future. I can dream. I can choose to make plans and envision fun and laughter and crowds again. I can choose to plan trips to all the places I would love to go. We can always choose to dream. Dreaming opens our imagination to the inspiration that is all around us. And dreaming lifts us above the darkness and into the light. Dreaming lightens our mood and helps us to see beyond the difficulties life brings. When we open our imagination to see something better, we begin to reach for that something better. And when we reach for that something better, we begin to create it and draw to us all that we need to bring it into reality. Hope and courage begin the process, but action will bring it into manifestation. Don't sit around and wait for someone to do something to lift you up and fix the world. That's your job. Do something good every day. Bring goodness into the world through your words and your actions. We may not yet be with lots of people out in the greater world, but we all have people in our lives that we can be good to. Try it. See what happens. Spiritual law teaches us, give what you need, and it will also be yours. This is the key to creating goodness. President Obama also said, change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. We see the future not as something out of our control, but as something we can shape for the better through concerted and collective effort. This is the time we can each do our part to create the world we want to live in. We now have the understanding that we are all part of each other, and we all make a difference as we each do our part. Marianne Williamson gave this analogy. Every cell in our body exists in collaboration with every other cell. If one cell goes off and does its own thing, it creates disease. This is what we see as cancer cells in our bodies. Every cell is meant to work together in harmony to create health in the body. We, as human beings, are the cells of humanity, and we are meant to work together in harmony to create a healthy and prosperous world. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm, and as we understand the tiniest particle of creation, we can then understand the largest particle. With this knowledge of oneness, we are the ones we have been waiting for. Think about that. The world has been waiting for you and for me. The world has been waiting for all of us to do something. So let us work together to shape the world we want to live in. One of harmony, one of goodness and equality for all. Let us focus on the health in every cell of our bodies and in our world. We have an obligation to each other to do our part. So what is your part in keeping this world healthy? Think about it. God bless you all. And now we'll have a musical selection by Branigan Reed, who will sing The Universe and You.
just like stars burning bright, making holes in the night. We are building bridges. You know there's no need to hide away. You know I tell the truth. We are just the same. And I can feel in everything you do, hear everything you say, even when you're miles away. 'Cause I and me, the universe and you. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And when you're on your own, I'll send you a sign, just so you know that I need the universe and you. The universe and you. The universe and you. I am the universe and you.
And thank you, Branigan, for that beautiful song. And now it's time for our spirit communication, a time when we can hear from our loved ones and receive their wisdom and their inspiration. I'm not sure who's watching this service, but I know the spirit world knows. And I just invite them to come, and I give you whatever it is they bring me. Hopefully you'll recognize some of your loved ones today, and please take in their wisdom and their love. I'm grateful to everyone who sends me those emails each week. It's wonderful to know we've made those connections. So thank you, and keep telling me. I like to know we're making those connections. So let's see who's with us from the spirit world today. Okay. I feel like I have a woman who steps close to me. I feel like she's rather quiet. She comes in very peacefully and very quietly, and she stands very stately and very strong as she stands with me. But I feel like she wouldn't have been someone who would have spoken to a lot of people. I feel like she's sort of shy as she comes in, so I feel like she would have had a lot of good things to say, but she would have only shared the things within her on a one-on-one type of experience. She wasn't one to speak in front of crowds. She said that was her biggest fear, public speaking, and she never did it. So I feel like she's telling me that that limited her in some way, because I feel like she worked in business, and had she been more willing to step up and share the things that she had within herself, she would have gone further in her career. But because she let that fear of public speaking get in her way, she sort of stunted her growth, she says. And she's regretting that to some extent. She said, we can't let our fears rule us. So as she comes in, I'm asking her for a little bit more information. She's a lovely, beautiful woman. I feel rather tall with her, and I feel like she would have kept her hair short and always very neat. She looks very professional as she comes in. She dresses in a professional manner, and she really had that presentation where she could have gone far. She had the knowledge, she had the experience, the expertise, and she could have gone far in life, but yet she only went sort of halfway up the ladder, is what she's telling me. She also has a family. I feel like she has children, and she had a lot of nieces and nephews, sisters, brothers. I feel like she had a large family around her. And she said growing up, she got used to being the quiet one. She was the quiet one in the family, and she said everyone else was always talking, so I learned to be quiet. And she laughs now. She said it served her in many ways to be the quiet one, because when she was quiet, she was able to listen. And she learned a lot simply by listening. So I feel like she's coming in today to talk about how important it is to listen to one another. But also it's important to speak up when you need to. I feel like she said, I didn't have the perfect balance in my life as I look back. She said, but I did learn a lot from the things that I enjoyed in my life. I enjoyed the quiet. I enjoyed listening to people. And I feel like she was one of those people that people like to share their stories with and could come and share all their problems with her. And she would just listen, and she would offer her wisdom, which she had a lot of. But it was always on a one-to-one basis. And she never moved forward to be able to help more people than she did. But she's very happy with her life. She says she helped a lot of people. The people close to her came to her with their problems, and she did everything she could to help them. And that really fulfilled her soul. And she said, you have to follow and give what you have within you. I feel like her gift of empathy, the way she could listen and not interrupt people as they shared their story, was a wonderful gift that she had. And she said, we share our gifts in the ways that are comfortable for us. She said, had I been more comfortable with the public and sharing my expertise with the public, I may have helped more people, but I wasn't comfortable with that. And she said, and that was okay. And I learned that there are options in life because of that. We can put ourselves into uncomfortable situations, and we can force ourselves to grow and to become more, and that's good. But if we're not comfortable and we're ill at ease in situations, we can choose not to go there, and that's okay too. She said, remember, this is your life. You're the one walking the path. And if today you need comfort, take that comfort and don't push yourself too hard. But there's a line where sometimes you need to push a little bit and get yourself in some situations that might be present in your life to help you grow. Don't miss those opportunities. Keep the balance in your life. Push and choose the opportunities that show up that might make you a little uncomfortable, but will help you grow so that you can be more for the world. But be comfortable in yourself. She says her expertise was being the quiet one, and that made her happy. So she said, if you're the quiet one in the family, honor that. It's okay to be the quiet one. It's okay to be the one who listens and who shares in gentle ways. And she's very proud that she was able to do that. And she said, I don't regret not climbing up the ladder because I didn't want to speak in public. That was okay. I did fine for myself. So know when you're being challenged, when it will help you, and when it will diminish you. She said, had I climbed the ladder higher, it would have taken me away from my family, and I wouldn't have liked that at all. So in some ways, her fear helped her. You just have to know yourself, she says. You just have to know yourself and know how hard to push and know what's important in your life. And she's telling me her family was the most important. And I feel she's coming in today to send her love and her wisdom and her support to all of those she left behind, because she left many. And she's saying, to all those I left behind, I hope in my heart that I helped you all in some small way. But know that I'm still here, that I can still listen. And I feel like she's listening. So when you're in trouble, when you're trying to work things through, talk it out with her, and she'll be the listener. And then just imagine what she would have said back, because she is saying it back into your heart, and it will be there. That's where you'll find your answers. So I leave you with the blessings of this beautiful, beautiful spirit, and thank her for all of her wisdom and she's just so full of grace, I have to say. She's full of grace, and she's sharing that with everyone. Beautiful, pleasant, loving woman. Still is, always was. Thank you for coming in. God bless you. Yeah. Sweetest soul. Okay. All right, I feel like I have another woman marching in here, and she's really matter of fact, and she's someone who likes to get things done. And I feel like she towed the line, and she's like a drill sergeant as she comes in. She's shifting the energy completely, and she says, the world takes all kinds. She's quite a character. I got my hands on my hips, and she's really taken charge, and that's what she would have done in life. She would have always had something to say. She would have taken charge in any situation. I feel like no matter where she was the boss, and she couldn't help herself. And she laughs about it. She said, I just couldn't help myself. I always took charge. That was who I was. And that's what was inside me. I just knew what needed to be done, and I gave orders, and people usually followed. And if they didn't follow, well, they weren't my friend for too long. And she laughs. She said, you know, you can't have too many bosses in a situation. But I feel like she's in social situations helping to run things. I feel like she's definitely an organizer, and she would have been in organizations that needed her help. And that's where she's shown. She knew exactly how to run a function and what needed to be done, and people were thrilled to have her knowledge. She said she had a lot of knowledge. I feel like she would have, at one point in her life, worked with food or in the food industry, whether she was in a restaurant or banquets. I feel like she had a lot of knowledge of putting events on. And as she got older, she took all that knowledge. I feel like she retired from her job and she joined these organizations. And I feel like in those organizations, she would just take charge and she would help to run the functions because she had the expertise. And she had the personality. She wasn't afraid to tell anybody what to do. And as people usually accepted those commands, and things used to run smoothly. And I feel like she's telling me that when she passed, she was missed greatly. And they missed her when it was time to run a function because they didn't know without her what to do. And she said, she's sorry about that. She should have helped people learn more instead of just telling them what to do and walk away. And she's saying, I learned a lot from my life, from my personality was very outgoing, and sometimes it could be a bit brash. And she said, and I sometimes rub people the wrong way. She said, the way I said things. And over my life, and looking back on my life now, I see that there are ways to do things and ways not to do things. And she said, I would never admit this when I was here, but I wasn't perfect. And I didn't always do things the right way. But she said, I've learned that you have to stop and think about how you're being received before you give commands, before you just let words flow out of your mouth. And she said, it took me a long time to learn, and I didn't learn it completely before I passed. But she said, I was doing better at the end. I did think about how people would respond to the way I treated them. But I feel like she's letting me know that you have to work with the personality God gave you, because you got that personality for a reason. And because she was a take charge person and she was willing to get out there in the trenches, she did a lot of good with that take charge personality. She said she tried to keep it in tow, and most often she did. She didn't rub too many people the wrong way. But, you know, egos clash, she says. And she had some difficulties with some people, but she learned from those difficulties. And she said, when you clash with someone, I feel like she's talking to her family now. when you're having a clash with someone, you have to stop and look at what part you play, because it takes two to clash. It's never just one person's fault. And she said, I learned after a while to start looking at, well, what was my part in that clash? And most often it was me. It was my ego, or what I thought was most important, and I didn't give enough respect to the other person to honor their opinion of way the things they saw it should be. She said, so we always have to look for our part in clashes and in situations that aren't working. And I feel like she's talking directly to two people in her family that are clashing at the moment, that things aren't flowing in their communication, so to speak. And she's saying, stop and find your part. What is it that you do that's really bothering the other person? And if you both look to yourselves, you'll be able to change those things in you that are causing the problem, and bring yourselves back together again. She said, family needs to be together, and you need to pull together, and you need to communicate, and you need to understand each other's personalities and try to work with them. Work with your own first, and then work with the other person's, because if you don't work with yourself, nothing will ever get changed. So I feel like she's saying she learned to see herself in different light. And when she saw herself in a different light, she was able to see others in a different light as well. And that helped her greatly in certain clashes that she had in her life. So I leave you with her expertise, her take chargeness, and most especially her look inward, because we never can be diminished when we look inside and come from that true light that is within each and every one of us. So she's trying to bring peace to all of us and help all of us who may be clashing or having difficult times right now to look within and see yourself first, and then see how you're being received and how you would accept what you're giving. Could you accept the way you're treating them? And, you know, it's like they treat everyone the way you want to be treated. That's the bottom line, she says. And she's very much a bottom line lady. So I leave you with her blessings and lots of love. God bless you. Thank you. Yep, strong lady she is. Okay, let's see who else is coming in to visit us today. Okay, I feel like I have a couple, and they're coming in very joyfully. I feel like there's a real lightness to them. It's a husband and wife, and I feel like they were very close in life, that they moved through everything in life together. There's a real togetherness and a lightness about them. I feel like they both came from the same sort of cloth, and that's optimism and looking for what's right instead of what's wrong. I feel like they could turn any situation into a blessing. And that's how they looked at life, and that's what they taught their children. I feel like I have a daughter, and I believe two sons and a daughter, and I feel like they both really took life and made lemonade out of the lemons, because I feel like they would have had struggles in their life. I feel like they had to struggle quite a bit in their life, but they always made things better. They always looked at everything as a blessing, and they took whatever came and turned it around into something good and positive instead of something negative. And I feel like they're holding hands as they come in, because they're sweethearts, and they're back into, I feel like they were older when they passed. I feel like the husband would have passed before the wife. I feel like the mother was here quite a while without the father in the family. but I feel like she carried on, and she carried on in a positive way, knowing that she would be with him again one day. But I feel like they're both coming in to say, take whatever it is in front of you and make it a blessing. Make something good out of it, because it's up to you. It's a choice. And everything we do is a choice. We can look at life that it's not working, or it's negative, or it's a terrible thing, or we can look at life and say, oh, what a blessing. Isn't that great? And with that, oh, what a blessing, isn't that great attitude, everything becomes that blessing, and life becomes so much easier. And I feel like she's trying to make her kids' lives easier. As I feel into it, I feel like, oh, okay, I feel like one of the sons is with them, because I feel like there's one son here and a daughter, and there's a son with them who's also coming in that positive light. And I feel like he had a harder time in life making things positive, but he said he tried. But I feel like they're coming in especially with him today to let you know they're all together on the spirit side of life. And as I'm feeling this gentleman, I'm feeling that he played the piano. He's playing a piano here, and I feel like he would have lifted the mood with his music. And I feel like he's encouraging people to use music to lift the mood, to when they're down and sad or angry or depressed, put on some music that'll lift you up, or play something, because you can change your attitude in an instant. And that's all it takes, is a few happy notes, and you're off to a happier time, and then you'll create a much happier life. So I feel like the three of them have come in to uplift everyone, as well as their family that may be watching. And I feel like be positive is really their message. And you know, turn everything into a blessing, because in the end, everything is, and there's good in everything. So I leave you with their blessings and lots of love. And in fact, I have time for one more. And I feel like this person is an older gentleman, and I feel like he would have had a lot of back problems, because my back is killing me as he comes close. He's bringing me a lot of pain in his back, and I feel like he would have had surgeries in his back. He would have had a lot of difficulties. I feel like he would have had some surgeries. He would have had some sort of accident that damaged his back, and then he had numerous surgeries, and it never was right again. And I feel like it's not just the back, but his whole body is sort of has a lot of pain in his body. I feel like I have an old body, but I don't feel like I'm that old. So I feel like my body is much older than my spirit and my biological age, because of the accident and different things that happened in his life. He had a lot of pain in his body and a lot of difficulty. And I feel like he would have passed, I'm feeling like he's in his 50s when he passed, but I feel like my body's much older. And I feel like he definitely wants to reach out to his family. I feel like he has lots of family on the earth plane that loved him and that did their best and tried to help him. And he said there wasn't really much anyone could do. This was the journey that I had to take. And he said being in pain helped me to look at life in a different way. And he said everything happens for a reason, and we all have the experiences in our lives that we need to have for our soul to grow. He said, that's really true. I didn't realize it till I was on this side, that the pain that I went through helped my soul to grow. It helped me to let go of the things I used to think were important, and it helped me to understand that the people around me that cared for me and loved me and did things for me were what mattered the most. It taught me gratitude. It taught me to really be appreciative of those who went out of their way to help me. And he said, I may not always have said it, but the people that cared for me and helped me opened my heart in ways that nothing else ever could. And if I didn't have the illnesses and the pain that I had, I wouldn't have had the experience that literally opened my heart. And he said, I needed to open my heart before I came to the spirit world, because that's what my soul wanted to experience. And now my heart is wide open, and I am a beacon of love. And I'm bringing that love to everyone, to let them know that no matter what life has brought you, use it. Use it and allow it to teach you something wonderful, because the soul learns from everything, and it grows into higher and deeper love with every experience. That's the goal of the soul. And be grateful for whatever shows up in your life, and use it to grow and to expand and to open your heart in love and gratitude, because that's the stairway to heaven. Love and gratitude are the stepping stones that will carry you home. So I'm going to leave you with that wonderful wisdom that he has. He's showing me these wonderful stairs, and they're made from love and gratitude, and they lead to a place of peace and harmony within the self, within the soul. Wonderful, wonderful spirit who suffered greatly on earth, but is bringing such wisdom to us all to learn, grow, and love as much as we can. And I leave you with his great blessings. Thank you. Okay, and we thank all of the loved ones from the Spirit Side of Life who have drawn near today to assist us. If you've recognized anyone, please let me know. I know that they come to share their wisdom. It's not just about one individual. It's about reaching everyone and helping us to open to the wisdom they have that can help us all live our lives in a better way. And I'm honored to be their instrument today and thank them with my whole heart. And now we have a few announcements before we close our service. Next Sunday, in place of our service, we will have a gallery on Zoom with our church mediums. That's February 28th at 1 p.m. on Zoom. If you make a donation of $10 or more and mention the gallery, we will send you the link. Please include your email. We can't send the link without your email. So we're happy to send that link to anyone who makes a donation of $10 or more. Monthly book share is the fourth Thursday of the month. So this coming Thursday on February 25th, we're promoting healing and understanding racism. We'll be discussing uncomfortable conversations with the black man, white fragility, and the color of law. Please email if you're interested, and we will send you the link for that. There's no cost for this program. It's the fourth Thursday of every month. We'll be discussing different books on different issues. Fun Friday is the first Friday of the month, and that's from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Also, email if you want the link, and the next one will be March 5th. Dominic Bogue's weekend in March. He has a workshop on Saturday, March 13th, 11 to 3, and a gallery on Sunday, March 14th at 1 p.m. The cost of the workshop is $50, and that includes entry into the gallery. And the gallery itself is $20 if that's the only one thing you're going to attend. When payment is received, the link will be sent. Also include Dominic in the notation and your email. A Social Justice Committee is presenting a racial healing program. The first gathering is today, February 21st at 3 p.m. on Zoom, where people will talk about what this program is all about. They'll be placed into smaller groups with a facilitator, and they'll meet every other week at a convenient time to discuss the information given. If you're interested, please email juliafinley16@gmail.com, and she will send you the links and more information. On development classes, the Introduction to Spiritualism class will be starting the first week of April, and we will be having a welcome spring circle for all our Zoom students on Monday, March 22nd at 7 p.m. All students who want to take classes with me need to register in advance. Whether you've been in my class before, you still need to register. So send me an email if you would like entrance into any of my classes, and I will respond. Donations to the church can be made on our website, on Venmo at GBC Spiritualism, and also on Facebook. And know that we greatly appreciate your support. This is the only income we have in the church. We can't pass the basket. So if you're watching this service, please make a donation. We greatly appreciate that. It keeps us going. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the page, and please share the videos. Also, make sure you're on our email mailing list so that you'll get all of our upcoming event notifications. And I think that's all the announcements, quite a few today. And we look forward to seeing you next week on our Zoom gallery. And let's close our service with the closing prayer. Infinite Spirit, beloved God, we give thanks for your presence within us and around us. We give thanks for the healing and the understanding we've received in our minds and in our hearts. Carry us into the world this week. Fill us with your light and help us to radiate it into our world. Help us to envision and to live a beautiful world in harmony and peace. And help us all to know our part in how to create this beautiful world with our actions, with our words, and with our feelings. Let us send love and light to all beings on this planet so that we may work together in harmony and peace. Amen. Thank you for joining us. See you all next week.